Good morning, North Coast, and welcome back to our midweek edition of Good Morning North Coast. I am Zoe Sturgeon, and I will be your anchor on this morning's show. First on our lineup, we'll be bringing you the very important weather and surf report with Heili and Deon, followed by the ever-friendly and inspiring Prathisha Singh to give us that daily dose of inspiration and motivation to get us through the day. And then today we welcome back some familiar faces. We have Neville and Helen from Ndlondlo Reptile Park, where they will be talking to us about all things snakes. Then we have Annet, who will be with us from the Nation Builders Development, is on the seat. And then we welcome Ashleigh back from Lezar Trendi Gear. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for that one. And then we have a very exciting segment. One of our favorites, Sharon Sinclair, is back from Chandramala. I am beyond excited. And then after that, we close, as always, with a music video. And I must, of course, thank our wondrous coffee sponsors, Performance Coffee, for keeping us going throughout the day. We are so ridiculously grateful. Right, let's move on to the weather and surf report.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Bolito Gas and Prime. Today will be cloudy with occasional morning rain and a thunderstorm, followed by occasional rain and drizzle in the afternoon as well, with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 22 degrees. The real feel will be 29 degrees and the real feel shade 27 degrees. We have a southerly wind at 7 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 22 kilometers per hour. And then 84% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 5:51 a.m. and the sunset at 6:20 p.m. Pretoria, meestal bewolk en nie te warm nie, with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And then Joburg, cloudy and cooler with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. And then Cape Town, mostly sunny and warm, with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 20 degrees. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by Nadine Skryfbehoeftes and Deon from Victory Surf.
Good morning, Bolito, and welcome to Wednesday morning's beach report. And a beautiful, cloudy, cooler weather greets us today. Spots of rain here and there, and some lovely waves around. Some really, really good 3-4 feet surf at the main beach. So really good for the bodyboarders, the paddle boarders, and the surfers today. Main beach looking really, really good. A little bit full in the morning, but as the tide goes out, it's getting better and better. I would say around 10 o'clock this morning, or maybe even 2 o'clock this afternoon after the low tide comes in, the waves are going to get really good. So light variable winds, mostly southerly and southwesterly the whole day, and very, very light. So glassy, smooth conditions. Get out there, guys. It's going to be a cracker day at the beach.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to kick right into our first interview for the morning. Prathisha, welcome.
Hi Zoe, it's such a pleasure to be back. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you back. What have you got for us this morning?
So today we're talking about conversations with myself. So if I had to ask you, do you talk to yourself?
I think everyone does.
I think so. I'm glad you're aware of that.
Especially in traffic, like, oh, no.
Yes. So we talk to ourselves. We talk to ourselves all day, every day. It's the stuff that goes through our minds. It's our thoughts. So fun fact, the average person has about 80,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
Of that, 80% is negative. So the way I like to look at it, and I hope I'm not giving away my age, remember back in the day when we listened to CDs, right?
Yeah.
So we would have those multiple CD players. You could put more than one.
Yes.
So I like to look at the mind as there's a positive CD and there's a negative CD. Now, which one plays all day, every day, is what we decide, okay? So when we're talking about, we're going to start with the negative one, because the negative one is the one that plays in the background. Unfortunately, it's all the beliefs we've come here with from the time we're like 4 years old. It's all the stories we tell ourselves.
Yes.
So What's in your negative CD, so? What are the type
I
of
suppose
things?
it's probably subconscious, isn't it? It's just like living a life, and like I've spent years on stage and life experience, and all these things come up. Even just preparing for a show, there's always going to be like, oh, what if I make that mistake? What if I do that? Even though it always goes well, regardless of whether I stumble or not. So.
Because you're perfect just the way you are.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. But that's not the stuff we tell ourselves, right? So the question is, do you speak to yourself like you speak to your best friend, or do you speak to yourself like you would your worst enemy? Right? And so the first step, of course, is awareness, right? And the second thing is, so the positive CD, let's get to the positive CD. So the positive CD is we can actually put tracks on that positive CD. What type of tracks would make you feel good? I am enough. I can do this. I got this. I am learning and growing. Yeah? What would make you feel better?
Something I've recently learned is that to take from the negatives. Take the lesson from the negative and work on doing better next time. Learn from it, and then you can kind of spin it into a positive.
Well, that's epic, right? And we do this to ourselves all the time. Have you ever been to a function or a party or something like that that you didn't want to go to, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you get there, the music's too loud. The DJ sucks. I don't know what he's playing and where he got this from. The food is awful. Don't you notice all these things?
Yeah, if you're in that kind of negative bubble, you'll always find something to complain about, I suppose. It's like this and this and this and this.
And the reason for that, there's actually an explanation, is that your mind always wants to be right. Your mind digs up evidence to prove itself right. So when that negative CD is playing, all it can see is stuff that's going to make that right. Okay? So now we've put tracks on the positive CD, I've got a bit of a trick, okay? So we're going to say the left-hand side is the negative side and the right-hand side is the positive side. No offense to lefties, my son is a lefty, right? So every time in the day that you catch yourself on the negative CD playing, I want you to poke your left thigh, okay? You're going to literally push pause on the negative, right? And you're going to poke your right thigh after that because you're going to push play on the positive.
Play.
So we're going pause on the negative, play on the positive.
That's a good
pause
visualization.
on the negative, play on the positive. And it's excellent to teach your kids this. If you teach your kids this now, you're giving them the best life skill ever.
Yeah.
Their whole perception's going to change.
Yeah.
How epic is that?
That is epic. I suppose a good example of that would be like it's too windy. I hate the wind. No, pause. Let's go fly a kite. My 6-year-old would be ecstatic at that, you know. He's got a kite that he never uses, so.
There you go. And it's raining, well, let's make popcorn and watch a movie.
Yeah.
So push pause on the negative and play on the positive. How's that? I knew you'd love that one.
Of course. It's a very good visualization, and being a musician and creative, I need these visualization type things.
Cool.
So that's awesome.
So that's my little gift message for you today.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love it, and I think we can all take something away from that. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, you heard it. Remember to press pause on the negative, play on the positive. Now, stick around after this ad break. We are going to have Neville, and we're going to see what he has for us today.
Freshly ground, not capsuled. Coffee pleasure from Euro.
You like it? Water paint. You like queuing to pay electricity?
Don't think so. VodaPay.
Wait, so I can use it?
Even if I'm on another network. VodaPay.
Off to do the monthly
Shopping. It's done.
Really?
Yo, Coco.
And we get rewards.
You like sending and receiving money now? How about when the combos communicate?
VodaPay it. You like good times with friends? VodaPay!
Introducing VodaPay, the one app for anything and everything. Like it, VodaPay it.
Welcome back, my glorious friends, and we are back with one of our regulars, and this is Neville from Ndlondlo Reptile Park. Welcome back, Neville.
Good morning, Zoe.
Thank you so much for joining us again. Now, I believe, if I remember rightly, we were talking about some myth busting with regards to reptiles and snakes. Are we going to continue on with that theme?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We're going to just finish off a little bit on the snake bite side,
Okay.
and then we're going to go into some other myths.
Okay. Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So first of all, to get back to the snake bite issue, we've got this myth that floats around where people are saying that it's more dangerous to get bitten by a baby snake because they have not learned to control their venom releases yet.
Okay.
And so they release a lot more venom. But that's just a lot of nonsense. I can put that one at ease. A, they don't have the volumes of venom yet. And B, they can absolutely control it.
Okay. So baby snakes, they have the venom, they just, what, do they have less? Or are they not hatched with venom?
No, they do have the venom to release. They just don't have the capacity to have as much as what an adult snake would have.
Okay, it just comes with size.
So just because of size, sheer size.
Okay,
And,
okay, that makes sense.
And yes, they are capable of absolutely controlling their venom release.
Okay, so they're born ready to go.
Born ready to go.
That's fantastic.
They've got this little switch says default setting.
Okay.
And all have that.
All right, that's fantastic.
And
Awesome.
yeah, then to get on to the rest. One of the myths that automatically have me rolling my eyes and scratching my head, and then it's a bit of an embarrassment sometimes. You don't quite know how to speak to people that believe this sort of stuff, because you never really want to offend anybody. And some people find it really offensive if you start challenging the myths. But there's a word that I despise, and that's territorial. Yes, snakes have a home range that they move within, but man invented territories. We put up boundaries, we put up fences, we put up roads, we make a decision between this river and this river is ours and you're not allowed in here, and that sort of thing, where snakes do not have that.
Okay. So they're not as territorial as people think.
No, they don't have the concept of territory.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. So people would, I suppose, decide that snakes are known for being aggressive, so they must have some kind of territorial function to them. But do they get along with each other quite well, or?
Yes, they get along with each other quite well. It's just like a bunch of guys. They'll go out and they'll watch the rugby, and everybody will have a couple of beers, and they'll all shout and scream and cheer, and they might rag each other from the other team, and there's no animosity. Add a woman to the mix.
Yeah, so it's all
and the
in
whole
good nature.
thing changes.
Okay.
So now it goes about dominance. So territorial behavior as far as snakes goes according to mating rights.
Okay.
Now, black mamba's not going to challenge a human guy, because he thinks he's going to mate with his girl. Right?
They can make the distinction that that's not going to work.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
And so there's no territorial behavior as such towards humans.
Okay.
The fact that snakes chase you in certain places, man, it would make my job as a snake catcher so much easier if the snake would chase me rather.
Because you're trying to chase them and catch them.
That's right.
Because they don't really want much to do with us, I suppose,
No,
do they?
they don't. They don't. Just like you wouldn't walk down the road, see a big black-haired Maine lion, and then run up and slap him on the nose. You're rather ducking it for she needs and decide this is a T-shirt I really need to have a look at, you know?
That makes sense. That makes sense. And I think it is normal, though, for human nature to fear the things we don't understand, which is why this is...
That you hit on the point there. It's not understanding the nature of things. You see?
Well, I suppose it's easier to accept that that male lion's going to eat my head. It's going to bite my head off and it's going to kill me. But snakes, there's a lot of myths and there's a lot of uncertainty, I suppose.
There is a lot of uncertainty, but you all fall back onto that old thing with snakes, in that They are reptiles, and all reptiles' behavior is like teenage boys. They do as little as possible for as long as possible. They do absolutely nothing without reward, and they only interact with things they can eat or mate with. And humans fall out of that scope with males, with snakes. So we are no interest to them except that we may kill them.
Yes.
So the term aggression is quite incorrect, because only humans and primates experience aggression. No other animal experiences aggression.
That's insane, because I suppose if we're going to walk into a situation, see a snake, we go on the defense. So the bad snake struck or protected itself. But I suppose you don't deal with that as much, because you don't walk into a situation with the snakes with a different mindset, because you understand these things, if I'm correct.
It's all about approach. It's all about approach. You approach any animal aggressively, it'll go on the defensive.
Okay, and that's how we get that defensive reaction out of anything, any one person or animal, I suppose.
So many people find me this cheeky, aggressive little snake that they've got there. You know, I just poked him with a stick, and he wanted to bite me. Okay, who poked who with a stick?
Yeah, you're not going to like it.
Yeah. So that's basically to wrap that one about territory up.
Yeah.
Home ranges is a home base that the snake would use that he finds secure. And he'll venture out from there to go bask, to drink water, to find a mate, to find food, and return to that base where he feels secure.
Okay, all right.
So that's as far as territorial behavior goes.
Wow, and they just essentially want to be left alone, which is nice.
They absolutely want
I
to
would
be left alone.
gladly leave them alone. I don't, because I suppose, typical human nature, I don't understand them. So if there's a snake there, I'm over there. So I will happily have that respect and just leave them alone. I'll leave the snake catching to professionals like you and Helen, I think. That's phenomenal. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Neville, it was so educational, and I always look forward to seeing what you've got for us next time. Thank you. But if people want to contact you for snake catching or visiting the reptile park, how can they get a hold of you?
082 561 4969.
All right, thank you.
If you've got an emergency, please phone, don't send me a message.
Okay, so in an emergency, pick up the phone. Neville will see you, and he will come to your rescue, I promise. All right, stick around after this break. We are going to be chatting to Annet from Nation Builders Development. We'll see you now.
Many of us have witnessed the destruction and devastation brought on by someone's addiction to drugs, alcohol, gambling, over-the-counter medication, etc. The destruction continues until professional help is sought. However, failure to do so can result in either being admitted to a psychiatric facility, sentenced to imprisonment, or eventual death. This is the stark reality of addiction. My name is Tony Subramani. I am a qualified social worker, and I specialize in addiction counseling services to individuals, couples, and families. I am an ex-alcoholic, having been sober for the past 32 years. I am also a certified AcuDetox specialist. AcuDetox refers to the auricular acupuncture, It is a 5-point acupuncture protocol specifically designed to help those struggling with substance abuse. Contrary to popular belief, the opposite of addiction is not only about sobriety. It is more to do with having a connection. First and foremost, the connection is with oneself and then with the world. Recovery from addiction is an inward journey. I often refer to recovery as an inside job. As you embark upon this inward journey, you eventually become willing and comfortable to connect with the outer world. You get to understand and accept the fact that you do not need any mood-altering chemicals to make you feel good on the inside. All you seek is within you. This bodes well for long-term abstinence from drugs and alcohol as well. Addiction is not about the pleasurable effects of substances. It is about the user's inability to connect in healthy ways with other human beings and with himself or herself. In other words, addiction is not a substance disorder, it is a social disorder. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, I encourage you to give me a call on 081 533 6565. 081 533 6565. Saving lives one day at a time.
Welcome back, my friends, and we have someone new in studio with us this morning, and I am very interested to hear about this. Annet Sewraj from the Nation Builders Development. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm very interested to hear more about our topic. But before we dive right into the deep end, let's talk about what you do. It is Nation Builders Development. What is that?
Well, Nation Builders Development started in 2015, and I think it was just something that was laid on my heart regarding women empowerment, youth development, and also child development. Okay. And something that we focus on, we have a group of women, volunteers, or professionals that have rallied together, and we basically go around across KZN and South Africa, basically empowering women and youth and children through various training programs, skills development, things like that, because I think they are the marginalized, and we need in today's society to ensure that there is an upgrading, skilling of our females in our society, because like you know, women play a very, very critical and vital role in society. Yes. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what Nation Builders is about. So we have various programs that has to do with, for example, with our women, we have personal development program, building the entrepreneur in you, leadership development, and things like that just assist women.
Okay, so all of these projects that you do and what you do at Nation Builders Development is kind of about bringing that gender equality and helping women get up on that level, like in the business place, for example, so that we have equal footing.
Okay, so you know that this week on the 8th of March is International Women's Day. It's a celebration of women across the nations. Okay. And basically how International Women's Day started was in 1908. There were 15,000 women that took to the streets of New York, marching in protest for better pay, better working conditions, and voting rights. And so that's how it started, and it's just taken, and the UN has taken it further. Now it's become International Women's Day across the nations. And so I think it is important that women are highlighted, because for too long we've always taken the back seat. But you know that we play such a critical role in society, and we see that there's gender disparity and inequality in every nation. For example, if I had to look at women in leadership, you see that there is such a less than 30% of women occupy leadership and management positions, even in big Fortune 500 companies. Wow. And we need that to change, because the theme for this year is that gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. And it highlights the critical role. You see, women obviously experience different challenges and difficulties and things like that in life. So if there is equality and those challenges are addressed, then we can definitely know that when it comes to a sustainable future, even with regards to climate change, that women are going to play an important role to ensure that those issues are addressed.
And you know what comes to mind? You've probably seen it online. It's just one of those memes that goes around. But it's supposed to be drawing a comparison between women and men in the workplace. And that the whole idea is it's made to look like a race being run. You've probably seen it. And the men have a clear track in front of them, but the women still have washing, children, cooking. And at the end of that, we're still trying to level up in the workplace next to men.
Yes, absolutely. Our roles and functions are very different, but unfortunately in the workplace it's not recognized. Women's roles and function are not recognized. For example, like you mentioned, I'm a mother, but I'm also a leader, a manager, or whatever in the workplace. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration. And that's why it's so important that we have this gender equality, because we need to break down those stereotypes. We need to break down the bias that's across nations regarding women. And they need to consider what we as women, our challenges, our different scenarios, so that we can also, because I believe that women have a critical role to play, and we have the skills, the gracings, the skills, the talents on the inside of us that's going to actually assist our nation and nations to really be progressive. And because that's not done, that is why we see that in so many areas we lag behind. And I really believe that if women are recognized, then we wouldn't have this problem.
And I think something that a lot of women have this problem where they want to have a family, but they also want to be successful in business. And it's almost like we have to choose one or the other, because as soon as you give up, as soon as you put your focus on children, it's almost like we can't do both. When we can. It's harder work. Yes. You're volunteering for a lot, as we both know, yes. But it is possible, and it doesn't have to detract from our ability to do our jobs.
You know, they say men can do one thing at a time, but women are multitaskers.
We're multitasking.
And that is true. I mean, all women, and I'm sure some men will bear witness to that. So I really believe that we have it in our DNA to do that. To be able to multitask, to be able to be a mom, be a working woman, still function in our community, and do as many things as we can. It's just about maintaining a balance. But society needs to realize that. That's where the problem is. That society needs to realize that women can do that. It's who we are. It's basically how we were created. And if society utilizes that, we can see such progress and advancement even in society.
That's phenomenal. Such an interesting topic. I feel like we could probably talk about it all day. And something I did just want to touch on before we finish this interview up is the fact that I'm lucky in a way. I've noticed that as time has passed, more and more men that I'm surrounded by are not looking at me as a woman any differently, like in the workplace. Even here at Belito TV, there are men in the workplace, but we aren't less than them. And I think it also makes a difference. Like, I'm a mom of 2 boys. How I raise my boys to treat women would make a huge difference in making that change, I suppose.
Absolutely, you are very right. We need to recondition, especially in society, especially our younger generation, in terms of how they think and how they view women. And that needs to change, because once that changes, you'll see we wouldn't have so much of problems like we do, especially with gender-based violence. It's been something that's so prevalent in South Africa. And once we address that, especially, and I really believe that from a young age, especially with boys, you'll see that how they grow up, how they relate with their moms, with their sisters, and other female, members of the family, that how they relate will change, and you'll see that even in society. And it's very important that you know, we are not looked at. You'll see it out in South Africa, especially, that we don't, and it's emphasized that we don't look at people on the basis of their race, color, and all of that. But what about on the basis of their gender? We need to highlight
it's one that gets forgotten about, a little bit sidetracked.
Yes.
I mean, this is the Rainbow Nation, but we do have the gender inequality.
Yes, absolutely. And we need to look at who we are, our abilities, our expertise, and what we can bring to the table in terms of, not in terms of our gender and race or anything, but in terms of who we are and what we have. And I think that's important. And that's really going to change a whole lot of dynamics in our nation and address a lot of challenges and issues if we come to that place. And it also has to be addressed on the level of the male-female issue. And that is important. And I think once that is done, you'll see it even will spill out and infiltrate into other levels with race and every other issue that we face in our nation.
That's incredible. This has been a very insightful interview. I'm so glad you came in. And I'm sure everyone can take so much about this, what we can do to help with all this gender equality that we find ourselves surrounded by. And I'm sure if people look you up online, they can find you?
Yes, you can look at our Facebook page, because our website is currently under some construction and changes.
Right.
So it's Nation Builders Development, and our handle is @BuildThePeople.
Okay, phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely love this, and I really look forward to getting to chat to you again to see what differences we've been able to make.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, stick around. We have Ashleigh Lezar, who's going to be sitting with me, and I believe we have some adorable things to look at, and I'm so excited. Stick around. Welcome back, everyone. We have Ashleigh Lezar from Lezar Trendi Gear in with us. Welcome back.
Hello, Bleacher TV. Hello, viewers. It's lovely to be back.
And I always love that you bring new and exciting things for us to look at every single time you're here. Genuinely, so much excitement for me. It always makes things interesting. So let's start. Obviously, this is the new year. I see we've got some new clothes sitting here to look at. What's happening from a clothing perspective?
Okay, at the moment, the clothing range at the moment is all baggy t-shirts, like this, for example.
Oh, this looks so comfortable. Oh, my great giddy aunt.
Right. And it's lovely for ladies, you know, just to throw on a shirt around the house, wherever, it's so comfortable. We actually got like little sayings on our shirts, okay? All of them are different, and some of them are humorous, some of them are motivational and everything.
Yes,
okay?
let's have a look at what's on
Then we've
this
also brought out our new range for children, and a lot of them at the moment are doing chess, okay? And we're actually asked if we could do some chess shirts, okay?
Wow.
This is just one of the samples, okay? It's just like a little heartbeats with little characters for the chess and that. And then, as I said, we've got all different styles to suit everybody's style and everything. But that is the craze with kids at the moment, playing chess.
Okay, but that's great. That's good for their brains, I suppose.
Yeah, I love chess. Like,
Oh, we've got more chess. Absolutely love it. This is for the girls.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
I love chess. Phenomenal. That's fantastic. Now, obviously, we've moved into 2022. And given everything that's happening, there have been new challenges. How have things been for you, planning for the year ahead?
It's been adventurous. Okay, yes, like most things, you know, but you've always got to be alive with your brand. You always have to bring out something out of the box.
Yes.
Okay, like, you know, us, we always have something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And we did launch this last year in December time. Okay, but also with the demand, now we've got little girls saying, oh, but I want a little girl one, a little female little minion. You know? Yes, and they have actually become very handy with help kids save money and stuff for their future.
Yes.
Okay? Even if you have like rand and notes, whatever, around the house.
Yes.
Find a place for it in there, okay? Yes. Because they do have their little security lock at the back here, so no little hands could go in, and then maybe open it in like a year or two and be surprised what's in there.
So this is a little piggy bank.
Another good idea is also there's always schools looking for funds and stuff, you know?
Yes.
Planning to improve the school or going for school trips or something. So it is a good idea for classes to actually have their own little minion in the classroom and get the children to help donate money by putting it in here. And then at the year end, they can see which classroom's got the most money, and obviously that class will get a prize, you know, to help raise money for the school.
Yes.
So there's like lots of ideas for these little things.
I mean, I know from that perspective, I remember as a kid always collecting change. And then you sort it, you bring it to the bank, you get exchanged for real money.
Yeah.
And this would be such a fun way to do that. I mean, we were saying my son would absolutely love his little blue minion, and he'd get to put all of his change in it, and he always loves to save up, and then he can buy himself something big. Yes. And it teaches him a good lesson as well in learning how to manage money and all of that. It's phenomenal.
So it's good to teach kids from a young age.
Yes.
About saving money.
I know, great.
Teacher.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, for people that are watching this, whether they're interested in the clothes, they're interested in the piggy banks, or anything else that you are doing, how can they get a hold of you? How can they contact you?
They can follow us on Facebook, Lezar Trendi Gear, or email us, lezartrendigear@gmail.com.
That's great.
Or reach me on WhatsApp, 082 457 3000. Easy number.
Awesome. And I must say, I am looking at these baggy, comfortable shirts that are just so comfortable. I think, especially we women, it's like you're busy with your kids, you're like, I just need my comfort.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm going to do the school run, I'm going to do it in comfort. The heels only get put on when absolutely necessary.
Yeah. So as I said, we can design the shirt for you. We just need to obviously know the size, the color, and everything.
Okay, so there's a lot of creativity that people can put into it to actually create something that they would love.
It's all unique. You know, nobody else will have the same shirt as you. Because
That's
you
great.
might have this shirt, but you might want it in
shopping in my cardio. Love it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll design it how you would like it.
Phenomenal. That's so exciting. I was definitely looking into that. That is so exciting. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are running low on time today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to seeing what goodies you've got in store for us next time. I know, it's always so exciting and thrilling to see what you're going to pull out of the hat.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Awesome. Now, moving on, we're going to have an ad break, and then the lovely Sharon is going to be sitting on the couch with us, so stick around.
By Belita Gas en Braai fokus ons op ons kliënte. Vriendelike en doeltreffende diens is wat ons anders maak. werk as 'n span met integriteit en deursigtigheid. Hier bied ons kliënte onvergeetlike ervaring en werk ons met die beste belang van ons kliënt. Ons lewer nie net produkte aan ons kliënte nie, ons lewer ook 'n volledige diens, insluitend onderdele en tegniese ondersteuning.
At 1018 Skryfbehoeftes Ballito, we offer an array of convenience services for our clients. With an in-store, fully operational business center, all under one roof. 1018 Skryfbehoeftes Ballito is fully stocked with all your leading stationery brands. Proudly Ballito for Ballito.
Welcome back to our GMNC show. With me in studio this morning, I've got Sharon Sinclair from Chandramala. Sharon, good morning.
Hi, Taryn.
How are you?
Fabulous. It's so nice to be back at Ballito TV again.
It's lovely having you back. You haven't been in a while, have you?
I know, sure. You can't actually believe we're already in March.
I know, time
Crazy.
just flying by.
Absolutely.
Sharon, what's been happening with Chandramala? Tell us all about it.
Oh, it's been quite a journey already for so far, for such a short space of the year. A lot of reflection, and I think the focus for this year for Chandramala and myself is authenticity and women empowerment. And so it's always interesting to listen to different perspectives of how women see women empowerment.
Yeah.
And for me, it's more about stepping into your truth and the essence of who you are. And so the authenticity, I've been on a little bit of a journey this year so far, and we don't actually realize how easy it is to not acknowledge an element of our authenticity, either because we're trying to get business, or we're in company, we don't want to upset people, we don't want to hurt their feelings, but then it's subject to our own feelings being hurt.
That's true, because you hold back because of what others think of you, and you don't want to step on their territory almost, isn't it?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to upset people.
You don't want to, that's right. You don't want to
And so as women, we're very delicate around that, and we're so concerned, very much from the heart space, we don't want to upset people, or we don't want to offend people. But at the same time, is we offending ourselves by not being our true authentic self, and it could even be where our partner, for instance, isn't an emotional person, where we are, and I'm probably speaking about myself here.
I think most women, isn't it?
Most women are. And so we hold back the emotion, where instead of actually saying, you know what, I'm having an emotional moment, and they don't need to participate, but they can just be there.
Yes.
Or if you need space to just kind of allow the space to be in your emotional space. But I think the key thing is, when we're not authentic as women, we neglect so much aspiration and heart's desires for ourselves. And it ends up being on a deep subconscious level, but it becomes baggage.
Yeah.
And later in life, 10 or 15 years down the line, we get to realize, I really haven't been authentic with myself, or I've neglected an aspect of who I really wanted to be, or what I wanted to do. And sometimes that then just creates a lot more hardship and sadness within our own space.
Yes, yeah.
And so my encouragement for this year is to really encourage women to own their authenticity. And it's even the shadow side. And so this year, Sharon and Chandramala will be hosting a lot more women retreats from 1 day to 2 days, because we had a goddess retreat with Nikki Westhuizen in February month, which was fabulous. And I think that it also gave us a realization of how important it is, and the need out there to create a safe circle for women to really share where there's no criticism
No
or judgment.
Exactly.
You
That's
know?
the most difficult thing to do, is open up without feeling someone's going to criticize and judge, isn't it?
Absolutely, you
Yeah.
know, and so we were able to really create that safe space in February at the Goddess Retreat, where the women from all walks of life could actually just come together. It was such a beautiful, diverse group of fantastic women, but every woman had a story.
Yeah.
Everybody had something they were holding on to, and how free they felt and liberated after just sharing that, you know, and just
only
getting hugs
imagine.
from each other. It was beautiful, just
Almost
amazing.
taking your first step forward again, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Sharon, how do the treats go about? Is it in Belito? How do we contact you? How does it work?
Well, the thing is that I would have it on my Facebook, on Chandramala as well as Sharon Sinclair's Facebook page. We have got just a little intro at the end of this month for the Vortex mat, my little magic mat. But then at the end of May, we've got another big retreat, so if somebody's interested and they're really wanting to do personal development work in a safe space, and really start to access their true power and their true authenticity, they can definitely give me a tinkle.
That sounds phenomenal. And where is it located? Here in Belito?
Well, at the moment I'm doing it in Gillets at my house, because I've got a very nice, beautiful premises that we
And it's a lovely
facilitate.
area as well, isn't it?
It's beautiful
Yes,
with
it's
the
so
river.
tranquil, yeah.
Oh, lovely. And remember, nature is very healing, so that will be the place. And then I will be looking at doing something in Belito. If I get somebody that wants to partner with me from a venue space, then
Yes.
absolutely I would be looking at that as well.
Oh, fantastic, Sharon. And tell me, what else is coming up for Chandramala?
Oh, well, you know what? There's so many things, but I think the real big thing is around helping women to step into their power. So there's a lot of things. I'm working also with people that do sound healing, conscious breath work, and then also Nikki does a lot of goddess elements, because I know my masculine energy is a lot stronger, and so I've booked myself for the whole year for all her goddess retreats, where we can dance, and so a lot of dancing.
Sounds so much fun too,
Oh,
isn't
no,
it?
it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to learn and grow and evolve as women in a classroom environment.
No.
I mean, we did that for 12 years. We want to have fun, and we want to
Get out of that,
dance and
yeah.
really just kind of loosen up, etc. And it's loads of fun. So on that note,
Yeah.
choose us a little packet there, whichever colour.
What are these interesting?
So these are the ones that were over from the Goddess Retreat. So all the goddesses got little gifts as well, which were fabulous. And so you can open that up.
Oh,
And so the color essence around that is the green represents a new growth, new beginnings. It represents
like
the
that.
heart. And the yellow being on the inside is about your true self, your power. Like who am I? Who's Taryn? And so you got a little something in there. What is, oh yes,
Favorite,
always a little
thank
chocolate. Ladies always love chocolates. And what is your little word? And it's green.
It's powerful.
Whoa.
Can I tell you, Sharon, I'm sure I needed to hear this today. It's almost like God sent, isn't it? Such a
It always
blessing.
is God sent, always, you know.
Yeah.
And so your heart, it says that your heart is powerful because the little word is on a green paper. And so it's so important for us to understand as women is our heart, as sensitive as what it is, it's powerful. So let's use that power for the good of
that's it.
ourselves and everybody
We always
else.
put our sensitivity first, don't we? Like you said, we doubt ourselves, we have our insecurities and scared of judgment, but instead use that power, isn't it? Use it to work.
Yes, redirect that
Yeah,
power,
yeah.
you know, to do good. But
Sharon,
always doing good for self and others.
And others, yes, not just for self.
Not only for
Yeah,
self and
yeah.
not only for others.
Yeah.
It's got to
Well
be
balanced.
well balanced.
Sharon's absolutely amazing. And for those that don't know where they can contact you, what are your social media handles?
All right. So Facebook would be either Sharon Sinclair or it would be Chandramala. Then they can also email me, which is sharon@chandramala.com, or they can WhatsApp me on 074 899 2293.
Absolutely love it. I've got one last question before
Yes.
we forget. When it comes to your group activities for the women and the upliftment thereof, how many individuals can take place? Is it quite restricted, or is it first come, first serve, just to try and get those women booking up our retreats?
Yes. Well, the thing is that because it's quite a personalized event, we don't do more than 15 women at a time.
That's nice.
Yes. So it's
That's
very intimate, it's very
Yes.
personal, and it's a safe space. And so we don't want to do masses.
No.
We will be having something for Women's Month, which will be a bigger event.
Yes.
And so there we will have maybe 30 or 40 people. But on the smaller retreats, it's very much more personalized.
Sharon, it's so lovely having you in the studio, and what you're doing is absolutely amazing work, and please carry on doing that. I'm sure there are many of us out there that really need to come to these retreats and find out in ourselves again, isn't it?
Absolutely, awesome.
Thank you, Sharon.
Super, thanks, Sharon.
We're going to go into an ad break, and after the ad break, we'll be right back.
My name is Brett Mitchell. I'm the proud resident of Ballito and the franchisor of the Mozambique Restaurant Group and one of the directors of the Ballito Beach Collective. This NPO was started to preserve and to keep our beaches in Ballito area safe with strict alcohol restrictions and a strong security presence. I'm sure if you've lived in Ballito for a while, you would have noticed that the Ballito village is safe and alive again after years of decay, with our local beaches also being more family friendly. This is thanks to a handful of like-minded business owners, individuals and organizations who have contributed towards the massive turnaround of the area. For us to maintain what we've achieved so far and for there to be longevity, Diego Barnes and myself have headed up a lot of fundraising efforts surrounding this project and would like to urge residents, business owners, tourists and our incredible community to come together as we've done so before, to help our positive movement for the benefit of all by donating to our cause and to sustain the beautification of our area for generations to come. To donate to our Ballito Beach Collective, you can use this Zapper code or phone me on 082 427 4903 for more details.
All right, everyone, that brings our show to a close for today. Thank you so much, of course, to all of our guests, our viewers, and our sponsors for helping make this possible. Now, you guys can sit back and relax and enjoy our music video for this morning, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Sy's my 10 van harte, prinses hier in my hande. Sy's die bloed deur my are, die wind deur my hare.
Kerslig en champagne, as die son sak oranje. Hy's die bloed deur my are, die wind deur my hare.
Ek gee vir haar 'n roos wat rooi is, 'n roos vir haar omdat sy so mooi is. Winter, herfst, lente en somer, sonder haar is ek verlore.
Ek gee vir hom my hart wat leeg was, my hart vir hom want hy sal het oppas. Winter, herfst, lente en somer, sonder hom is ek verlore.
Sy's my dubbelrooi wyn, sy's my skemer soms skyn.
Hy is die bloed deur my are, die wind deur my hare.
Ek gee vir haar 'n roos wat rooi is. 'n Roos vir haar omdat sy so mooi is. Winter, herfst, lente en somer, sonder haar is ek